Please take the microphone.
Sadhguru, thank you for being here again in Atlanta. It's a pleasure. Back then, just by accident, I ran into one of your inner engineering programs when it was in a small scale. And it really touched me in a way that it transformed my life and made this trip from far away from Argentina worthwhile. And I would love for everybody to have that experience, even if it's a single moment. My question to you is, it's so wonderful, everything that comes from you, and yet, how not to miss the immensity of what is being offered? Thank you.
See, the biggest mistake that the larger part of humanity has made is, they think all the great things are up there somewhere. When actually, you're not even capable of knowing which is up and down. You know the planet is round? Yes? You're sitting on a round planet, not even on the North Pole. You're Argentina. Being in the southern hemisphere, you should have fallen off long time ago. At least we got a foothold up here. And the damn thing is spinning on top of it. So, if you look up, you're invariably looking up in the wrong direction. Yes or no? Are you capable of knowing in this cosmos which is up and which is down? Is it somewhere marked this side up? Are you capable of knowing? I'm asking you. You are incapable of knowing what is up and down. No such thing exists. For convenience, we will make this up, we'll make this down, for understanding between you and me. But in reality, you really do not know which is up and down, which is forward and backward, which is east and which is west. We've made up all these things. Yes or no? Only for communication and understanding between us. It is not a reality. So, great things are not up there. If you want to do fantastic things to yourself, you don't have to do some feat, simple things. You just have to learn how to sit, first of all. Sitting is not a simple thing. You have to learn how to breathe, how to hold this body, because as I said, this is the most sophisticated machine on the planet. Every little thing that you do, it does its own things. We can do a little… Shall we do a little experiment with you? After all, it's a university, we can experiment with you. Just do one thing. Take these two hands, keep all the 5 fingers together, place it facing down upon your lap, upon your thigh. All the 5 fingers should be together, all 5. Don't do it yet, just watch me. You will do this with eyes closed, just breathing slightly deeper than normal. Just as your normal breath, slightly deeper, slightly exaggerated so that you will notice it. And as you're doing it, I will say switch. When I say switch, without breaking the rhythm of your breathing, just turn this over this way. Continue to breathe. When I say switch again, get back here. In these two positions of the hand, something about your breath will change. You must notice how the air fills up into your lung, or where is the maximum expansion and contraction. Just notice this. Something about your breath will change and you must tell me what changed, okay? For you to notice this, for you to be able to notice this, one thing is your spine should be erect. That's not possible if you've been trained to sit on the American cushions. You can only sit like this. I like this chair. I think the chapel is making sure everybody's awake here. And your spine should be erect, your eyes should be closed, your mind should be focused on the breath. If you do these three things, you will distinctly notice this. All five fingers together, close your eyes, breathe slightly deeper than normal and notice where the maximum expansion and contraction is. Switch. Switch again. Please open your eyes. There's some difference between the two. Can somebody tell me, when it's this way, where is it? This way? Just the reverse is happening. When you hold it this way, the maximum expansion and contraction is happening in the lower lobe of the lung. So you will notice it in the diaphragm region. If you turn it around, it moves into the middle lobe of the lung, so you will notice higher up in the chest. Just do one breath and see it is noticeable. Is it so? So just turning your hand over, the very way you breathe is altering itself. It's not just about the breath, the very way the fundamental life energies are functioning is altering itself simply because you turn your hand over. How many times in a day, unconsciously, are you doing this? Whatever anybody asks. In India, this means no, 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 no. Now you're setting your energies into turmoil and hoping to be peaceful. Life doesn't work like that. Unless you do the right things will not happen to you. Now, what is being referred to as inner engineering or what is largely known as yoga? When I use the word yoga, I hesitate and avoid using this word in United States because yoga means they think something Zumba and some gymnastic stuff. Like we get… in India we get all your B grade and C grade movies. Just like that, you get some things like that from India. Now, one dimension of yoga is like, if you remember in 60s and 70s when the television came first, on top of your home there would be an aluminum contraption. Now it's become much more sophisticated, otherwise there would be aluminum tubes hanging like this. You're just watching your favorite program, suddenly your television goes boop, boop, boop. Then you run up on the terrace and pull it like this, it won't work, pull it like that, it won't work. You get it there properly. Suddenly the whole world pours into your sitting room. This is called an antenna. This… you are who you are. You know that you exist only because you perceive. Yes or no? See, suppose you're sitting here and you fell asleep. For sure, I will disappear. I'm the first one. If you go a little more like that, everybody will disappear. If you really get hung, even you disappear. In your experience, the existence is obliterated, isn't it? You need to understand, you even know that you exist only because you're perceiving. So what you perceive is what you have become. There's also other nuances to that, how you perceived, what you made out of it, but essentially, what you perceived is what you have become. If your perception is gone, it's gone. Your life is gone, isn't it? Now, perception, how to enhance the perception should be the only goal, because if you enhance your perception, your life will enhance itself. How profoundly do you perceive this life? So, this system is a phenomenal thing. If you learn to sit right, if you just adjust it right, now you can download the whole cosmos into this. You've heard of the concept called the third eye. Why the third eye is so important is, these two eyes are sense perceptions. Almost 30 to 35% of your vision is by memory. Do you know this? If you had no memory, you would not be able to see a lot of things. These two eyes have past hanging in them. They're always blurred by the past. If you look at this, what looks nice, what doesn't look nice, what looks right, what doesn't look wrong, what looks wrong, what is okay, what is not okay, what is beautiful, what is not beautiful, everything is by memory. If your memory is taken away, these two eyes become half blind, at least one-third blind for sure. So in these two eyes, past is always hanging. That's why we say, you see something like this, okay, that's your karma, that's your doing, that's your memory bank which is doing this. A third eye is that which has not invested in memory, which is simply seeing things as they are. This doesn't mean you have to crack your forehead, okay? It is not a physical eye, it is not subject to the memory bank that you have gathered. Simply seeing everything the way it is. Your ability to handle life well simply depends on how clearly you see it, isn't it? Yes or no? Right now, you cannot see anything clearly because 35% of the actual physical vision is dependent upon the memory that you have. But gathering strong prejudices, gathering strong emotional identifications, your ability to see is gone almost 90%. Not even 10% of life, people see the way it is, they see it the way they think it is. That means you're existing in a psychological reality, not in an existential reality. What that means is, you're just lost in your own creation, you have no contact with the Creator's creation. If you experience the creation the way it is the most phenomenal thing, there cannot be anything more. And it need not be anything more because if you spend 1,000,000 years, you still can't figure the sophistication and the intricacy of what it is. But people are bored. When you can't figure an atom in a lifetime, or 10 lifetimes, you can't figure one atom, people are bored because they're lost in their own petty creation. They're existing in their own psychological creations, psychological existence, not in the real existence. Life is here. What's in your mind is madness, isn't it? It's time you step down into the Creator's creation. I'm saying step down because your creation is higher, of course. Otherwise, why would you dwell there? So it's time every human being dedicated a little bit of time towards this. It's being offered in Atlanta if you wish to take it. Otherwise, in your own home, if you want to do, there are tools being given out because of the generosity of a few people, that these things are available or it's available online to start with. But every human being should start the process of turning inward. Otherwise, when moment of death comes, all you will have is belief systems to hang on to. And everything that you believe, everything that you think matters to you right now will not matter to you if the next moment is death. And I'm sorry to remind you, but anyway you will die. It's not my wish. I'll bless you with a long life, but anyway you will die. Is it okay? You need to understand, this is the fundamental of turning inward, that you realize that you're mortal. You realize that you have come with an expiry date. You realize you're racing towards it. If you remind yourself of this, how can you not look at life more profoundly? How can you? Only because you think you're here forever, you can forget about it. It doesn't matter what you think. You think you come to the talk, you think you're going to go home, you think you're going to this place or that place. But as far as your body is concerned, it is walking straight to the grave. Yes or no? You think so many things, this is all your nonsense. But the reality is your body is walking straight to the grave, not missing a step. Yes or no? We'll bless you with a long life. But if you understand and if you're constantly conscious that I'm mortal, there is no way you cannot look at deeper dimensions of life. You naturally will. Thank you very much for being here.